Welcome to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast, where trauma survivors become healthy thrivers. Each month, we'll feature a theme in the trauma recovery and empowerment field. To promote your recovery, healing, and learning how to build dreams, here is your host, Karen Robinson, transformational coach and therapist.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Heal, Thrive, Dream podcast. Today, our guest is Andrea Lukac, and she'll correct me if I mess up her name. But Andrea is an NLP trainer, this was neuralistic practitioner trainer, hypnosis coach, and a psychological counselor. When Andrea entered the working world after studying economics, she noticed very quickly how unhappy she and other people around her were in their day-to-day lives. This awareness led her to having the courage to follow her passion of inspiring people to live life to the fullest. Utilizing her knowledge in human behavior, especially what has been triggered from past traumas, Andrea is able to assist people in overcoming overwhelm, fear, shame, and judgment by communicating their needs and wants powerfully. So Andrea, anything I messed up, your name, your credentials, please feel free to correct all that now, and welcome to our show.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank everybody for the time, and I hope you will find some clues on the way so you can use on your daily life. My name is Andrea Lukac, and let's start a productive conversation.
Awesome. And where are you joining us from today?
So I'm from Austria.
Austria. Are you living in Austria right now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're my first Austrian guest. Yay!
It's my pleasure being the first with you.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, our goal is to interview people from around the world, and it's happening without us really trying too hard. So that's really cool. So welcome. I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, which is near Washington, D.C. in the States. So glad to have you here. So, Andrea, is there anything about your past, how you grew up or your relationships, any traumas that you're comfortable in sharing with our audience who are trauma survivors?
Yes, so I had some issues because of my hair color when I was a child, and with a professor in German, as whatever I would wrote, it was never fine. Although some other professors did my homework, so I just rewrote it, and it was also not fine. So I learned to endure a lot of things, and it was influencing me quite a long time.
Okay. Yeah. And how did that influence shape the work that you eventually would go on to do for survivors?
So as I was not open to everyone, if I saw some danger, I would keep a distance to a person, just to avoid a negative experience. But when I began to study everything of this, and I became aware that which resources were lacking in me at the moment, and that we humans are capable of activating the resources we have, and to grow the more empowering beliefs on a daily basis.
Yeah. I love what you're saying about empowering beliefs. Yeah. So tell us a bit about your education. You are a psychologist or?
Yes, I'm a psychological counselor,
Mm-hmm.
and on the way with this education, I became an NLP trainer and a hypnosis coach.
Okay. And when you have a trauma survivor that comes to you for help, what do you start with NLP? What's your process in assessing what people need when they come see you?
Yes, so I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, let's say
Mhm.
that way. So I'm using the ones which are most useful at the moment. So to see where a person is and where we want to go, to understand what happened and to make this pattern visible. So to make the situation very clear, so we can see which resources were lacking, which empowered beliefs can help out, and where are the limiting beliefs to it as well.
Mhm.
Because even if there are little limiting beliefs, they can pretend us in going in a good further direction.
Right. And for the audience members who don't know what NLP is, we had another provider with NLP experience, but somebody new who's listening, could you say a little more about what it means to be an NLP trainer?
Yes, NLP is the short standing for neuro-linguistic programming. It's a very big field as well, but in general, we learn how words impact our lives, how belief systems play a role in our lives, and how we can transform by changing our states, for example. And it offers a lot of tools to get into our own power back again.
Mhm. Yeah, I know the answer to this already, but I want your perspective. Do you think when you see trauma survivors that they're struggling with limited belief systems?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And that's the most hardest work, because if we are influenced by these limiting beliefs for a long term, they become a part of our identity, and we are often not willing to release them, to put them into logic, to see deeper, which and therefore it is, in my opinion, important to make the situation clear, to see what was said, what have we heard, what have we felt, because here are big indicators on making the invisible visible. And at the point we make it visible or conscious, we can change it. And if we don't see it, we cannot change it. We will stay in a kind of victim mode.
Right. Kind of stuck there. Yeah. And how do you use your training as a hypnotist? How do you use that training with trauma survivors, or do you?
Mm. So oftentimes people cannot remember what was, especially when the pain was very deep.
Mhm.
So it's like a protection mechanism that we like forgot it or cannot remember. And by using hypnosis, we can come to the subconscious mind where everything is memorized and not forgotten, and to help people to remember and to transform, and so that a newer life is possible.
Mhm. Now, do you recommend anyone with repressed memories get services in this, or is there certain people that you think are a better fit than others? Like, is anybody too vulnerable maybe for the work?
So I believe that when the person is ready, um, the remembering will be rather given to us back again.
Okay, so if
So
they're
we have
not
to,
ready, sorry.
yes, so we have to overcome this security issues, so that the subconscious feels safe, and when the time is right, we will remember back again.
Yeah,
And I believe that patience on the way is a gift we should take for ourselves,
mhm.
not to rush, to go step by step, and as the releasing process can be quick or it can take a little time, but to be patient enough to take the time a person needs, not to rush, especially if we have faced a big portion of pain in the past.
Now, I'm really glad that you're saying that, because it shows that you practice in a way that's very client-centered. Yeah, because patience and taking our time and knowing when the time is right, uh, that's
Yes.
super important.
So I believe from experience that for me, the customer indicates or the client indicates the tempo we are going forward, and the topic and what they want to go. And it's for me very important to respect this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to create more overwhelm or some negative emotions. But on the other side, I want to bring as much as possible to the moment, and when I feel that they need a little time so they can have it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Because I'm sure you've heard of people using the skills that you have not as carefully, right? Yeah. So it sounds like you're very trauma informed and trauma centered. It's
Yes,
really
because
beautiful.
not being patient would maybe drive someone to run away,
Yeah.
and so there is no help in here, right? And I believe it takes time. It
Mhm.
didn't grow. It didn't come into an existence from yesterday to today. It is mostly a long time ago, and we have carried it a long time ago, even on an unconscious level. So we were not always aware of it, but it takes patience to go through the process. But we can promise that by going through the process, we can find back into our power, to be aligned with our emotions, to understand it, to just have a new life back again, which is filled with more quality, happiness, and satisfaction.
Oh, nicely said. So people that don't understand hypnosis super well or worry that therapists who utilize that skill, they're worried about that false memory. What do you think about false memories? Is that concerning your practice or no?
There are no false memory. There is a memory to it, and there is something behind that, which was maybe misinterpreted. But a memory is a memory, and it's like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And hypnosis is for me a natural state. So it's no woo-woo thing, because everyone is in an hypnotic state, in an alpha state, during the days, maybe when they are driving a car, or
Mm-hmm.
when they are not very present in the moment. So it's a natural state we don't have to be afraid of. The difference is in here just that on the one side, we slip into it unconsciously
Mm-hmm.
and are experiencing it, and don't know that we are in such a state because we don't realize it. And on the other side, it is by inducted by an hypnotherapist, or and done on a conscious level, or consciously, the hypnotherapist is leading one in such a state where they can relax and calm down, and the brain waves sync, so that the subconscious is open and we can work with the subconscious mind directly.
Right. And anytime we practice a relaxation tool, we're tapping into that a little bit too. So I think a lot of times people don't understand that it's not a dark, sinister process, right? Like they may show in a movie or something. Or when you're working with a therapist too, like the goal is not to make you cluck like a chicken, you know. that's entertainment and not what therapists will do. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm a big reader, and so I love recommending books to survivors, you know, that are inspirational or educational and a piece of learning that they may need. Do you have any favorite books like that you recommend?
So I have a ton of books I could recommend, but I'm a strong believer that a person will pick up a book which is matching to his current standing. So we will with our intuition, we will pick up the right book at the right time. And oftentimes by recommending a book, I found out that people don't take it because the time is not right and they don't feel very comfortable with it. But so
interesting.
There are a lot of books and really good books, but I'm a strong believer everyone will feel when they have a look on a book and feel it's the right time.
Yeah, I really love that. I love that a lot because I think that's been true for me. So, and you can deny this question, but I would love to know a book that inspired you, like you as a person, not a recommendation, but just a book for you, Andrea, that really spoke to you and helped you in some way. Are you willing to share that, or am I pushing my luck?
So I love the books from Dr. Richard Bandler and Tony Robbins. And I love a lot of psychological books, which are not easy to read for everyone. Therefore,
Right.
Everyone will pick up his or her book.
Okay, so Richard, what was his last name?
Dr. Richard Bandler.
How do you spell his last name? I'm not familiar with him.
Bandler. I can write it in the chat for you.
Okay. And Tony Robbins, of course, I'm familiar with and have read lots of his stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, because I think your perspective is beautiful, though, that we'll pick up the right book for us at the right time. So, yeah. Okay. So Richard Bandler, Bandler. Okay. Well, I'll look into him. I'm curious now. Okay, so as you know, Andrea, our audience is people that are recovering and healing at different stages through trauma, whether it be childhood abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, or it could be a trauma like a major accident or a medical trauma. And so some people on their journey may not be at their best selves right now. They're struggling. I call it the struggle bus, and sometimes I'm on it too. You know, we all are on it at some point. So anyone listening that's maybe on the struggle bus right now, what are your words of wisdom, inspiration, or hope that you could give them today?
Mostly I like to share, to say, be your best observer. But in such a state, I recommend when you feel that you are in such a down phase to have to realize it at first and to acknowledge it. And it's okay for being here at the moment, not judging yourself, but having a look on how you can quit this negative spiral immediately. So what can help me now? What first step can I take now to feel better? And maybe the next step would be to take notice of empowering feelings and beliefs, what helped me out, to monitor them. So we have a lot of reference experiences. We can look back when we feel down back again. So, and to quit when we feel it, to realize it and to quit it as quick as possible, because it is not serving us in any way.
Mm. Okay, great. So for anyone that's listening that would like to learn more about you or to connect with you, what is the best way to do that?
For everyone who wants to connect with me or to work with me, please email me under the email address andrealukac.coaching@gmail.com.
Do you want to say it one more time?
It was andrea.lukac.coaching@gmail.com.
Okay. And for those of you who are listening and are driving, we'll have that in the show notes so you can connect with Andrea a little bit later. So I'm so appreciative that you took time to be with us today, and we hope you keep in touch with us. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you can pick something out for you and get into practice.
Thank you for listening in today. Please join us next week, same day and time. Also, I would love for you to check out my website, healthrivedream.com.